I had to go turn off that air conditioner. So I'm definitely in higher spirits than I was in my last two videos, my last two big videos, or which are technically my first two videos. I'm Teneca, and thank you for coming back to my channel. Thank you for coming back to my videos. I'm definitely in a much happier place, by far. So here's the latest on what's going on, or what's gone on. So I'm safe in my apartment. I got to keep my apartment. They did put it on the court docket as an eviction. It's so hard to say that, because definitely in my 20s, man, I stayed tearing my ass. Stayed getting fired. Stayed getting evicted. Stayed getting repossessions. I was just very irresponsible. I won't say I was irresponsible. I'm gonna say I was very I'll come back to that. I'll fix that somehow. I need a fan. So I'm getting hot. Is that the anxiety? Okay. All right. So, okay. So the follow-up. So I went back to work on Monday. So today is Friday. I went back to work on Monday. It's been a very awkward week. My first week back. It's been very busy. A lot of changes. I mean, a lot of changes and just things. See, I like busy work like that. Not that it's busy at my job, but it's because I have so much to catch up on. I do like that. At the same time, for that 3 weeks, I was off work from May the 15th until May the 31st. So what had happened is, if you looked at the first two videos, then you know that I'm still in the recovery stages from a fire that occurred back in November of last year. And moving forward to now, I just now decided to go ahead. Look, I'm getting hot already. I'm just now deciding to try to salvage, what I can. I pretty much kept everything except for like the blanket. I kept the blanket for a few months in a bag. I don't know why I did that. I think I just didn't want to let it go. But anyway, I have furniture that I need to get rid of, and clothes, stuff like that. This dress, I got it off of Shein for like $6. No BSing. So I'm starting to replace a little bit here and there. I typically don't buy pieces like this. I buy stuff that I can wear like in the winter or in the summertime. But I'm like that. I will totally wear flip-flops in the winter. I will totally wear rain boots in the summer for no reason. With the dress, a classy dress, I'll put some rain boots on or some Chucks. I'm just like that. But I don't really wear themed, not like a lot of patterns. So, but a lot of colors. But anyway, let me just turn that off because it's distracting me. So I want to turn on the air conditioner, but that feedback is so much. It is so loud. Like it sounds like a jet engine. It sounds like there's a jet engine up in here. So, something I want to share. Okay, when I went back and just to look at the previous videos, I needed to delete some of the space. Some of the recordings from my phone so that I could say, so I could free up some, so I could free up some space. So I could free up some space. Shit. Okay. I think this might be a little bit too much for me right now. I'll come back to it. Fuck it. I can't. Is there even any point in me putting the phone back on the desk? I don't know why I'm having such a hard time right now. I'm just trying to talk to you and tell you my shit. Maybe I'll change up the way I'm doing it. Despite the two beautiful paintings, the two beautiful pieces that I have, that definitely are by Black artists. And I got them at Family Dollar. Family Dollar in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I didn't see. This is so good. I'm feeling bad. I was supposed to be positioning the camera. I'm so sorry. Just to make sure that you're not catching too much of my pear. Like I'm pear shaped. So I'm trying to make sure that you don't catch too much of my tubby and my torso. And I lost track of why I pressed record on that. I had this pair, ironically. Were we resonating with each other? I'm just gonna enjoy it, and then I'll come back and delete it. Oh, it's so good. I'm gonna get this towel. I'm already knowing. Earlier today, I had earlier today, I had a nectarine. I haven't had a nectarine in a very long time. It was so good and so ripe. Like I went to Sprouts to get some organic grapes, some seedless organic grapes, because I heard that that's the Walmart has some organic things, but they don't have organic seedless grapes. So, but on the way to get the grapes in the fruit section or produce, I saw the grapes, but before I could make it to the grapes, I smelled peaches. I gotta get one of those. It's like $2.49 per pound. So I only got one, a really pretty one that smelled really good. I smelled it at both ends. It was just soft enough. It gave just what it was supposed to give, like in the test. And then as I got close to those grapes, I never smelled the grapes. It's on the other side of the grapes, right next to them, with some nectarines. It's like you get like 6. I got 6 or 8 for like $4 or something. Also organic. In my belly. It's good. I'm tripping. My lipstick is not on here. This is lipstick waterproof. Water and smudge proof. I'd be looking out like that. This says beauty for real. Exposure. I love it. I don't think that it is. I mean, I think that it is smudge proof. So let's talk about it then. Okay. And so I'm back. The teacher, like I want to say her name, but I don't. It's been a long time ago. We'll just call her Miss Myers. Miss Myers, it will be her name. Miss Myers, I mean, as a child, I saw her, you're an adult, you're a grown up. Like my mom and my dad. You know, you're grown. But Miss Myers, actually looking back, was only maybe like 22, 23 years old. She was young. Don't judge me. This is the water I keep upstairs in my room, and it goes, and I don't want to share it with the rest of the house. So, Miss Myers did not appreciate some of the questions. I remember and I was one of those children, like, yes, I was very intelligent. I was pretty smart. So the grown-ups used to tell me. But I was raised that there are no dumb questions. There are no stupid or bad questions. And so I stayed, if I had a question, damn it, I was asking it. I never cared about what the class thought, you know, and people still kind of respond to me like that, like in that way as an adult, like in a training environment or in a lecture. It's the, oh my God, she's asking another fucking question. Yes, bitch, I'm asking another question. I'm curious. I need to know. My need to know is very strong. And for people who are in positions of leadership, like a teacher, a third grade teacher, who they don't have the same idea about questions and the importance of maintaining that safe space for students to ask questions so that they know and fully understand something. She felt challenged, obviously. I mean, I'm not one to ever just say, I don't want someone telling me how I feel, but I'm not a child anymore. So then my perspective of actions that I observed as a child, now I get to go over those memories with my more mature, more in-tuned, astute adult mind, where I'm processing things. I kind of felt it as a child, but I mean, obviously as an adult, you know, what is that? Almost, 30 something years later, I know what I was looking at was someone that, at that age, other than this class, you really haven't been given authority over anyone or anything. I don't know if she was married or not. I don't think she was married. But when I would ask her questions, it was never disruptive. It was during the lesson plan, but her response to my questions, like I was clearly being retaliated against, like, Teneca, would you mind going over and go and get to I'll sit at this workstation, I'll just get with you in a minute. And I'm like, the question that I asked it about, which I know we had some guests from out of state, I want to say, that were visiting. The question was, they were giving us the lesson about the earth and the spinning on its axis, and all of the directions, and all of the thousands of miles per hour winds that we can't feel because of. Anyway, my question in the third grade was, because I'm processing as she's talking, and I'm like, so you're telling me that the earth, this planet, is going in all of these, and we're just sitting here like, I exhale and I inhale exactly what I just exhaled. How are things not flying all over the place? And what was in the book, in the learning, in the material for a third grade class, this did not prepare her to explain, to really answer that question. So then my genius question, which I wasn't trying to get any like cool points, which that wasn't even a term back then. So that might tell you where I already told you I'm 45. I wasn't trying to get any points with my question. I was always a little bit afraid to ask, even though I was raised that it was okay, because I just saw the negative feedback that people would give with others, and I'm just like, don't be like that. Damn, what if it was your question? What if you had the nerve or the courage to just ask your question? Can I ask my question? Anyway, I asked her, I was like, so how come then when I throw this quarter up in the air, and I literally flicked a quarter out of my pocket? That's back when the free lunch, if you got above and it wasn't free, so $1.25. So it's not free, it was a school lunch. It was $1.25 if you didn't qualify for the free lunch. But anyway, and so she like, I asked her, like, so I throw this quarter up in the air, then this quarter should be like, it should go somewhere, because I'm technically going somewhere, because I'm on this planet that's spinning around all these hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. I throw it up in the air and the quarter comes back down. How does that happen? How is it happening? And I wasn't ashamed or angry that she couldn't answer the question as a child. I do remember, though, how absolutely mean she began to be with me. You felt challenged, and then the other students had the same question. She felt challenged by me, and set me out in the hallway. Because when she came over to me at the table, at that point, I'm not thinking about like my question, because I just knew that it wasn't the question, because I was raised that there are no bad or dumb questions. I was just thinking about, at that point, what did I do to get in trouble that you separated me from the rest of the class? It's a valid concern, because I can go home and end up getting a whooping, get my ass beat, if I go home with the note that I disrupted class and all I've done was ask a question. I'm just asking a question. Not only did she not have the answer to that quarter in the air on the ground, not being thrown out into oblivion, into space, she didn't have that answer. She also couldn't answer the follow-up question. Well, why am I over here? What did I say or do that was wrong? Just get your books. We're going to go to, I had to go to the next teacher's name was Miss Stacy. We had these little learning stations. And Miss Stacy taught math. I think she taught math and science. But at this time, I'm just going to her math circuit. And then after, when it's time to go to science, which she was it's right after that. So, but anyway, I remember when it was time for me to go to Miss Stacy's class, Miss Myers went out of her way to, in front of, this is the first school that I had gone to that had this open environment where there were no closed doors. The classroom environment, this was an open learning center, an open space. And looking back, I really appreciate that as a child, to get to see other students and to not have those walls around me. But because of that, then I got to see a lot of other incidents like what I'm describing right now. And I'm just saying, I'm gonna cut the story short. I'm not gonna give you all of it. People in positions of leadership, teachers, parents, if you're a security guard, if you're a supervisor, if you're the babysitter, you may be in a conversation, a situation where you know more than someone else. That right there, just the fact that you're up here and someone else is down here, it's like there's a responsibility in my mind for you to behave and to respond to things in a way that does not in any way damage the person that you're talking to. That this teacher went out of her way to retaliate against, as if I actually did something wrong. And looking back, she didn't know that 30-something years later, that I was going to turn on this phone and speak about this story. Now, obviously, it didn't take me all this time to understand what was going on, but it has taken all this time for me to share really with anybody, because my life is littered with incidences like this, where this teacher was in a understandably tough position. I can see how that would be difficult. And like, if I'm thinking about how old she was, I know she was in her early 20s, like maybe 22, 23 at best. At best. Not really, even her own social skills are not really, they've not really evolved. And the school is just recently really being integrated. I mean, really, truly, like in the last maybe 10 years. Before that, they just didn't have that. And this is on the side of town where there were not a lot of black people. Like, I give her all the passes that I can give, but I'm just saying, it serves in an example in this conversation where a child's mind does not stay a child's mind. To the teachers that do that will inappropriately reprimand a child in front of other children, and then take it a step further. These teachers that sit outside of the classroom, or even inside the classroom in front of all the children and you, and just make you the topic of discussion. Yeah, I have to sit Teneca out here to do her math work. Well, now this is me telling on Miss Stacy, right? Because whatever happened between me and Miss Myers, that was in Miss Myers' class, and I wasn't even being disruptive. Miss Stacy didn't foresee that when you jumped on that bandwagon with Miss Myers, you didn't foresee that I was going to get older and talk about your ass too. And how you didn't even consider that you were, and Miss Stacy was definitely older, significantly older than Miss Myers, right? You didn't consider the unfair perspective that may have been being presented to you, and advocate for a student, for a child that otherwise had never, because I was scared of getting my ass beat when I got home. That was a very real concern. So there is no taking extra time on the way to class. I'm doing this right. No, you're not. Taking the extra time to get back to classes. No, if I ask to go to the restroom, I'm going to the restroom and bringing my ass right back. When it's time to turn in my assignment, oh, I'm done with that thing. I'm turning it in right now. There was, at that point in my life, there was a lot of physical abuse at home at that time. Teachers don't necessarily know that. Nobody knows that. But I'm just saying, you talk about watching that ass and making sure you're not doing anything to trigger anybody. I don't need a note coming home with me saying that I've done something that I know I didn't do, because I value the skin on my ass. So, but I'm just saying, in that position, I'm looking at how adults are behaving and conducting themselves. Miss Stacy jumping on that opportunity to talk shit about a child and to even threaten, do I need to call your father or your mother? Now, I will say on the flip side of this, the idea that I could be sent home with a note and I can't really back up that note, like the note is saying I did this. All I can say is, no, I didn't, Mom or Dad, and then and get my ass beat, and then you get to go to my school the next day, and then the story gets kind of spun down a little bit. So I was like, I knew better than that. And by the third grade, how old are we whenever we get to the third grade? My intuition had been, boosted a little bit from those traumas, and so I was pretty clever in this way. I want you to call my daddy or my mama, because that's a hell of a lot better than this note following me home that is some straight up bullshit. It's better than that. And they did. And they regretted that. And they punished me after that, passive aggressively putting me in the back of the line every time we went somewhere. If we had a bathroom break or restroom break, when it was time to go to the cafeteria. We are in alphabetical order. You put me at the back of the line like my last name began with a Z. We get to go and pick out our construction paper. I'm the last one that gets to go. So it's like, looking back, it's not complaining, because that's technically water under the bridge. It's an observation. People are not really conscious. They can't see past their agenda. In relationships, the young men and women who you may have someone under the influence of your attraction and your energy, and they're thinking that, you really like them like that. The things that you have to do to create the space for you to walk away from and abandon a connection that you initiated. That's so disorienting to people who have done nothing to you but hope that you like them as much as they like you. Those people couldn't see past whatever it was that was compelling that deception during that time. But how many of us have gotten a little bit older and just a little more mature with a little more experience? You can look back and be like, yeah, that motherfucker was lying to me. I fell for that shit. Like, there's so many complex, sticky emotions just for people not being conscious of themselves. Because I've witnessed it, again, that has contributed to me being able to sit in front of you and present like I'm presenting right now. It's like I can't even get mad at the people. You're just unhealed and you are unevolved. I'm just saying I see most people very fully, and that is a gift, but it's also a curse, because it affects me being able to present like I don't know, like I don't see your horns and fangs, like I don't see your mask half lifted. The individuals, I'm going to get a little bit more personal. I mean, all of it is personal, but I'm going to dig a little bit deeper. The men and women who helped themselves to my body as a child, who got me by myself. Most of the time, not even in an empty house, a house full of people. Several times, everyone's playing spades and dominoes in the formal and the informal dining room. Kitchen has 6, 7, 8 women in it, cooking, playing gospel music, maybe even some Stephanie Mills while they're cooking. I'm not going to get into the specifics of any of the things that happened this time in this video, But I'm saying that those people who did what they did to me and in front of me did not have the foresight and the understanding. They were not grounded with the reality that I wasn't going to be an unsuspecting, unknowing child the rest of my life. That I was going to grow into an adult, mature into an adult, and be able to look back and be like, I used to always get so tickled whenever, not tickled, tickled whenever a certain uncle would come around, because he just made me feel so good. And there were people that when he would be around, they just moved differently. It's like they would stay out of his damn way. He was protective of us. Then also had not uncles, but these were friends of the family who I would be like, why are you looking at me like that? It would just, it wouldn't make me feel good or bad. It was just odd, to the point where I was like, well, I know I'm not in trouble. I haven't said anything to make you smile. How are you looking? Like, what is this look, Uncle so-and-so? To legitimate uncles. And to, like I said, those close friends of the family that you were trusted and allowed to come around. Nobody knew what you really have going on in your mind at that time. But now that I am an adult, way before I hit 45, and I'm 45 now, but way before now, in my 20s, like the moment that I got, like when I got married and went overseas, I know what that look was now. Oh, and women are in that too. Women are in that too. Women can be pedophiles also. I ain't just talking about it's the increasingly, I was going to say in the rare occasion, that's BS, because the women are definitely out there too. This is a human condition for the people that do it. You were looking at me with the gaze of lust. A child doesn't know it. A child don't know. There is situations like that, instances like that, that made me conscious of how I present, what I look like, what I say to somebody. Young men and women who are enticed by older men and women. I mean, I was a young girl. I remember having those fine dudes, like this dude drove by the school. He came by a little hangout spot where we all hang out. We used to hang out at this laundromat off of 29th. We would hang off of this at this laundromat because it had a free pool table in it. We were good kids. This bunch of kids that I was with. And guys pull up with their sound system, boom, 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 and the attention, like I was chin checked, like the loud music and people blowing their horns. Proper lady would never even acknowledge it, so I didn't acknowledge it. Like I didn't turn around and like, who that is, none of that. I was raised like the opposite. The man want to get your attention. He ain't gonna blow no damn horn. He's not gonna blaze his music like that, he's going to get out and approach you and address you for the human being that you are. He's not going to do that. We don't blow bull horns to get dogs' attention. We speak to animals. I speak to animals. Hell, I speak to the trees and the grass and the clouds. I talk to all of it. Candle went out. I'm conscious of what I bring to a conversation and what I take from it. That I'm not taking something that is not there, that you're not meaning. And so when I speak with that type of focus and intention. Yes, because I am human and my emotions do get the better of me sometimes. Then yeah, I might throw in some profanity here and there. I might yelp out or, scream or, get spaghetti neck, spaghetti arms, it happens. I'm very expressive, but I'm very conscious of what I communicate. and how I communicate. That people who don't know me are drawn to me, to talk to me and share their stories. That is such a huge responsibility to me. And although I shared those 2 videos with you, in the midst of that, in the midst of everything I've been experiencing since that fire, since before that fire, my whole life, it's one incident after another, after another, after another. Those opportunities to bless and be blessed, in those conversations in passing, that didn't stop just because I was going through, post-fire trauma and workplace drama. That did not stop. The young women that have approached me asking for advice, they start off just telling me, yeah, girl, I'm going to pick up this kid when I get off of work, and I got this car that ain't working right, and sometimes just break down crying. The men that have spoken with me about their loveless marriages and children that they passionately advise and discipline with their counterproductive, counteractive mothers on the other side of them, undermining them, and what that does to their marriages, what it does to their self-respect in the face of their children, their dignity, their idea of manhood and fatherhood. It's like, well, you're not sharing it with me for no reason. There's a reason why you're having this conversation with me. And the best that I can do is to make sure that my answer is a reflection of what I really have in my heart, which there's so much in here. There's so much. But it's not just about what all I have in here. It's what part of this that I know would resonate with where you're coming from, that may positively impact your thought process and what you are thinking is the right thing to do, or the right thing to say, the right way to behave. That's no way to talk to your wife. That's no way to talk to your husband. And I'm not saying that I'm just like, holier than anyone, or that I'm holy at all. It's like I have a baseline understanding of right and wrong. I live my life like that. Like I treat people how I want to be treated. When I have a question about something, I ask it. My children definitely check me on a regular basis. Like, well, Mom, you said this, yet you blah, blah, blah. It's accountability. I can't even get mad at it. I'd be like, I did say that. Well, this is why. Not that why matters every time. Why to most is just an excuse. It is relevant most of the time, but it's, well, why don't your actions, or why didn't your actions match your word? Why did you say you would do this, but you did that? I empowered my children from a very young age to do that. But anyway, this is just a small, I want to say a rant, but it's not a rant. It started off, the video, I started off just kind of like with the recap of the last 2 videos, and to let you know, I'm back. I made my first week back to work. I've gone back to work, and I wanted to give some feedback and just updates about that. And then I decided to wait. Yawning in the phone. There's a reason for this conversation. I just tell you. So I step outside. This is just to take out a bag of trash. If I go to pump my gas to get fuel at a gas station, these opportunities. And everyone has them, but it's what you do with those interactions. I take that very seriously. Not like I'm always looking for, like, well, God might have a word for me to give to you. Spirit might have, the universe might have, the ancestors are telling me. I got a wire. I got a wire. It's a message that just came through from the Ascended Masters. No, I'm not saying all that. I'm saying I am obedient in that way, to my detriment. I say what needs to be said, what's in my heart to say. I ask the questions that I am guided to ask. It's almost like a Saturnian energy where people lose sight of the actual question and they focus on how that question made them feel, and they react instead of respond and give me a legitimate reply. They can't get past some things. I'm not saying like I'm a loose cannon, like I'm just an asshole walking around asking complex. I ask all the hard questions. It's not like that. Or I say all the things that no one else wants to say. It's not like that. When a person expresses that they have a need, especially if it ironically is one that I actually can meet, or I can help you get what you need so that you can meet it yourself, I do that. As a child, my peers in classrooms, they were like that. Like I was definitely awkward. I'm awkward now. I'm awkward, or what today's society call weird. Man, that's weird, bro. Yeah, bitch, I'm pretty fucking weird. Because I process shit. I process what people say and how they behave around me. That psychoanalysis, psychoanalytical. It's again, it's the blessing and the curse at the same time. Because once you know a thing, you cannot unknow it. The ministers and teachers, even the professors in school, in any, whether you're in elementary, middle, high school, college, you just keep going. It doesn't matter what it is. I feel like people who move differently, I compare them. One of the analogies that when I'm writing, that I write this analogy all the time. It's like you have a bunch of professors in a room that are mocking and making fun of, passing judgment on, like negatively impacting students. Botching their progress. A gentleman that I used to know a long time ago, like many, even the ones in my family, so many people have this exact same experience, where you had so much potential. You know that you were meant to be, you could have been and should have been a star athlete. You should have been. And you had a coach that was entrusted with your progress. They were trusted and paid to grow you and nurture you and teach you, to evolve you into an athlete. I mean, in school, this is just a class. But I mean, for the athlete that he knows in his heart, he's supposed to play baseball or basketball or football. He knows he's built for it. His parents have been kind of grooming him for it. It's in his heart. He's in love with it. Or she. It happened to females too. You didn't think Miss Myers and Miss Stacy's shit that they were doing to me at that school didn't get to the track coach? I outrun everybody in this bitch. But I don't get to run because of some shenanigans that you trumped up Some books fell off of your desk and you said that I swiped the books off of your desk? Yeah, you didn't know it could never happen because I would never put myself in a position where I could get my ass beat. It could never happen. It could never happen. But you got off a lie until my father, I won't say, it wasn't like a safe word. We didn't necessarily have safe words, but there were some ways that I could communicate like, Daddy, I'll take the whooping. If you want to give me a whooping, go up there and just ask some of the other students what they saw. I started speaking language like that. That carried into my adult life. But anyway, these experiences have shaped me and molded me into what you're looking at right now. As a teenager, it's like the popular kids were definitely attracted to me because they thought that I had money that I didn't have. Remember, I was wearing the preacher's wives, our first lady's hand-me-downs. A couple of my aunties, because I was so much taller than everybody else in our family. Definitely of all the women. I was taller than all of them. Definitely taller than my sisters. I couldn't wear the same clothes. So my mom would take us, school shopping and things like that. It was just cheaper for me just to take their clothes. Take Sister Shonda's clothes. It wasn't over the top, like sequins and bedazzled and nothing like that, but it was very classy, conservative. I learned about cardigans when other people whenever they were wearing halter things. Well, my parents would never buy no shit like that for us. They never did. But I'm just saying that these children saw that I didn't dress like them, so I wasn't wearing the name brand clothing. I wasn't wearing, like back then, like Kohans was a really big thing. Always Nike, any of the big brands. Tommy Hilfiger, my parents never bought that shit for us. And we also never had a desire for it either. I saw the difference in me and other students, but I was just busy. My head was down. I'm trying to get my lesson, hurry up and get home. In case some things like shit got out of hands at home. Come home, it could be a bunch of police cars outside. I came home many a times to that. Many a times. I was not in the same space as everybody else, and it affected so much. It did. So while those cool kids liked me, I kind of saw them the same way I saw those teachers. Like, you're a bully of a sort. When you talk shit about other students who, like, I don't know who's buying your clothes, but I know who gave me my clothes. It doesn't look like anyone is giving them any clothes or doing their laundry. It doesn't look like there's someone telling them, hey, go take a bath or a shower. Or maybe those people didn't have running water or soap. For another student to come to school consecutive days with the exact same outfit on. Clearly your hair hasn't even been combed. The cool kids are calling you pissy wissy. I've been aware of and extreme, like hypersensitive to things like this. I know that is for a reason. That's for a specific reason. I can't say what it is because we already have an Oprah. Bless you, my sister. We already have one of those. We already have the Maya Angelos. Sister Cress Welsing. Asada Shakur's. Clara Luper's. Am I one of those? Because I never saw myself that way. And I still don't. But when I hear their stories and where they came from and what they witnessed and how they responded to it, yeah, I do see myself in them. So the cool kids, they liked me, but I didn't really like them like I wanted to. But I was like, I could never be on the other end of what makes someone else have a bad day, and they did it all the time, all the time. I was like a nerd, a geek myself, right? The nerds thought I was too cool, so so they didn't really like. They would tolerate spending some time with me, sometime, right? Um, but then it would be like, yeah, we're just gonna finish, eating our sunflower butter sandwich, avocado toast before I knew that it was even a thing. Yeah, my parents made my lunch. They just were not. I didn't fit in anywhere. And now I wasn't trying to either. I was never trying to either, because I thought that people would be able to look at me and tell, like, how many of you thought that, like, if your parents were going through something, that people at school would know? Somehow be able to look at you and tell. You can tell that my mom or my dad lost their job. You can tell that our whole family, that my grandmother said that we could come and stay over there and live there while my dad is in basic training. You didn't know that my father was paying his mother-in-law over $200 a month for rent so that his wife and 3 daughters could stay there while he would go away for basic training, or while he would go away for drill because he was in the National Guard. That my mother's siblings didn't know that about the arrangement. And they threw us out on like Christmas Eve, that they kicked us out. That stayed with me for so long. I was so humiliated. Like, the kids at school didn't know that I was going through that. That I had witnessed my mother's sisters and brothers putting her out, and all the while telling her, we know, it's not you. It's not you. It's their idea that my father was mooching on their mother, and he wasn't. To the understanding that I had to stay in a child's place and not speak up on daddy's behalf. That my mother stood there because her siblings were significantly older than her, that she stood there and took it. She was like a lamb. She was and is. She is the healer in our family. My mama's that one, man. If you get sick, she's that one that will come over there, and baby, she's going to sit you and your husband down, and your kids too. You're not going to have to do nothing. She is going to cater to you and love on you and nurture you for the whole time she's there with you. That your whole house is about to get cleaned up. All of your laundry is about to be done. And I don't mean just washed and, well, it's clean and you can fold it yourself. I watched her. You are their maid. She became their maid service. Cooking every meal. Helping other people's kids with their homework. Thankless. Because me and my sisters used to listen for it. Is anyone going to say thank you even? But I'm just saying, to watch her, and she's so dutiful and so beautiful, will give, if she knows you, right? She knows you. She knows your birth date. She knows your spouse's date of birth. She knows your retirement anniversary. She knows your marriage anniversary. Your spouse may have forgotten. My mama mess up and send your ass a card in the mail. Not mess around. She did it. She still does it. It's very thoughtful. And never asked for anything back either. But she, watching her example and watching how she carried herself, that this memory that I'm sharing with you just played back so many, just over and over and over. And I'm just like, I wish that anyone in the living room, when that conversation went down, I wish that anybody would have stepped in and said, well, we don't know that he hasn't given mother, that used to call my grandmother mother. You don't know that he's not giving her any money. That he is not, buying groceries. Yeah, she and the girls are here. But are they eating up? Like, is he the one buying the food that they're eating? Or is their grandmother, my mother's mother? Are they eating her food? Really, it was none of their damn business. But I'm just saying, to see that, to have to go out, and after that, we were living out of the back of a pearl green. It was like, it was a Lincoln. It was so big and so long, man. It was like a sparkly cucumber. It was that green. It was green. I mean, looking back, like at first we were proud of it, and then we were like, Dad, this is like too green. It's too big and it's too damn green. But looking back, we were sharp. We weren't sharp. We were sharp. Okay, that's what we were. But anyway, to see this, and my mother, because of her energy and her light, that she never spoke an ill word about her siblings or about what had happened to this date. When I recall this memory and I bring it up to my mother and sisters, like, yes, we are cut from the same tree, the same bark, but we are not cut the same. As my mother and my sisters definitely have loads more humility than I do. Their capacity to forgive and to empathize stretches far beyond what I am capable of, at least in my current state. Not that I bring vengeance. I'm not vindictive. I don't have those qualities. But I will say that the mercy and that forgiveness that comes from the people that it's supposed to come from. I'll let you sit in whatever you've done. There's so many conversations that I wouldn't even go back to. Okay, now I'm rambling. This is a little bit of a ramble, but it is relevant. I'm just saying that these episodes and things that I witnessed is directly responsible for what you are listening to and looking at right now. It's a front row seat to some behaviors and things. And these things kind of have come like the zipper on my lips. It's like I have been unleashed since the fire. Really, since the divorce. I was thinking about that, like, why was the divorce so devastating? Divorce is devastating. It's just like when a business goes under. You had a common goal with someone. Or you thought you did. Or maybe you did, and a challenge came up that was too tall or too difficult for the other person to stand up to. One of you or both of you, one of us or both of us, threw in the towel on the relationship We ain't got to get as extreme as marriage. Any relationship. It can be platonic, just you and your friend, you and your sibling. IJS. Like my life right now is evolving, is changing. And I'm like, so much of it, like I'm not asking for it. It's not what I'm asking for necessarily. Or even what I am, like what my goal is. It's not even that. I haven't smelled myself until just now. That smells good. What is that? That and Love Spell. Oh my gosh. That and Love Spell, that's like my shiggity. It goes hard together, okay? Anyway, these little things in my childhood and all things that contribute to me presenting like this. I've been trying not to draw on my journals, like to pull my journals out to share with you, because I just feel like that's not really an organic conversation that's dictated and intentional. Maybe I should be doing that instead. Maybe that would help me to focus. Because right now I'm just expressing myself. I'm sharing some thoughts with you. I don't have a subject or topic for this video. I won't call it a rant, because rants to me are kind of like emotion driven, and I'm not necessarily emotional right now. I'm not. I am hypersensitive. I usually am I'm very emotional, very expressive. But right now I'm cool. I'm at the end of my evening. I'm pretty sure it's after midnight, so I'll probably have slid into Sunday. But I wanted to give the recap. Initially, the video started, I was in a whole nother outfit because I started that video on Friday evening, on yesterday evening. It's not yesterday because now I'm past Saturday. I've been up and out so late. So I was supposed to come back to that video on Friday. Yeah, that didn't happen. I woke up and it was the middle of Saturday. I said it was what it was. It was what it was. I had a good time last night. Good time Friday night. So, yeah, I had a good time today before I sat down to do this video too. I've had a very good weekend so far. So, I'm gonna make sure that I covered my recap though, just in case I didn't. If I go back and before I upload the video, before I do whatever editing and then upload, just to make sure I did go back to work. For the most part, all is well. It is very awkward in that piece right now. No one at work knows that I've created these videos. I haven't shared them because, again, it's not with the intention of slandering anyone. That's why I never used anyone's name. You don't know what state I live in. You don't know what agency I work for. That's nobody's business. That's no one's business. There are already some people who have messaged back in my inboxes on Instagram, even on Twitter, that are just like, the one question that I've gotten like several times that has really shocked the hell out of me was, so if I was to cash app you $4,000 right now, so you hear me say it, everyone that has said it, no, now you know you're not the only one that has said it, that presented this idea to me. If I cashed app to you the $4,000 that you mentioned in your video, what would you even do with it? I just told you that my world has been turned upside down by a fire. I just told you that I was trying not to go out and take out loans, that I didn't want to have to owe anyone because I'm already in a deficit. I'm already in the negative in some aspects of my life, not just financially. I don't like asking. I would try to get the money from myself. It was a very honest effort. I'm fanning, obviously. I'm getting hot now. Again, I'm getting emotional. I don't know what anyone means by that. It's not any one person. There are several people that that was their response to my video. Despite everything that I said, I don't think that I really mentioned or solicited money. Even though, I mean, I needed it, and I still need it. Let me tell you what I'm doing right now. As big as this apartment is, I've been living in this bedroom. I just won't be down there with the smoke. Like my daughter, since again she was in the house with me in the other apartment, she's on the total opposite side of the house. So her clothes and things are fine. The furniture, she has some furniture that was in her room that she's given to me, right? Because she was like, Mom, I don't want it. You can have this bench. I'll show you guys the bench one day. If it wasn't a bunch of stuff on it, I would just show you right now, but I'm not going to. It has those tufted accents to it. It's so beautiful. It's like gray blue. I will show you when it's clear. It's too much stuff on it. I can't just show you right now. But anyway, I'm making do. I'm making do. I don't have any of those shopping habits. Like I said, I do my own hair. My daughter gifted me. She got my nails done for me on my birthday in January. And this is the first year that I've just been like, you know what? That's affordable. I deserve that. And my natural, I love my natural nail. I love that. But I could use that. It dresses up my hand a little bit. I talk with my hands a lot. So I will keep that. I've been keeping my nails up. I ain't got my nails done since the end of March. But like I was saying, I don't have to have new purses and shoes, and for sure go out to specific restaurants or any restaurant several times a week. I'm very low maintenance. Like I said, I'm very frugal. The extra money that I get, typically, it goes to, like I said, other people that need it more than I do and don't have the means to make it themselves. When I said that me and my sister take care of my parents, we take turns doing that. Like I can't share that part without, I don't want my parents to feel like, oh, you telling my business now. I'm not going to do that. Not that part anyway. I mean, my business is their business. And that is to be protected. But my parents are both independent and they actually take care of themselves. I'm saying whenever they need extra things, they are both on fixed incomes. They don't have money that fluctuates and goes up or down. They're fixed. Me and my sisters meet the odds and ends. We're very honored to do so. And we take turns being there for each other. After a separation or a divorce, or someone got fired. My sister, one of them had several car accidents. Car was totaled. Just not having the money for a down payment, or having some weird issue with your paycheck. Like I've not had so many issues in my entire life than I've had with this agency that I work for right now. I'm so over that part. I want that. I can't wait for that to evolve. Like, is this my key to entrepreneurship? Is that the message I'm supposed to be getting, Source? Okay? I think about stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. I'm going to go ahead and upload it. Oh, did I say about the eviction? So they did evict me in the court. They did do that. But because I looked it up and it is actually in the system online. I'm so fucking embarrassed. There's not a lot that makes me feel humiliated, but I do. But but it also shows that it was dismissed because I did pay it before they actually did it. Whatever happened that didn't, I mean, once you're evicted, you're evicted. But I paid what was owed. Those fees that crept up on me, like, how did it even happen? It doesn't matter, I'm safe. And I'm damn grateful for that. My anxiety that I had about returning to work after being made to be off work, I kept saying it was 3 weeks. It was 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. So I left out on the 15th, that 3 days, and the anxiety from the phone calls for the hardship draw, that shit took me out. It really did. Like it, when I say it took me out, I wasn't fit for work. Yeah, I wasn't. I needed that time. But the policy is that when you are out for more than 3 days, when it's been more than 3 days, you have to get a doctor's note, or that time is unexcused. My agency takes it a step further. It's not just a doctor's note saying, yeah, Teneca was sick with the stomach flu. Teneca was sick with whatever is none of your business, but she's okay to come back to work now as of whatever day. That's not good enough. I have to be released to go back to work, and that was the issue. So I had to schedule that appointment. The earliest appointment was May the 31st. And I was out on May the 15th. So I was forced to burn through all of the rest of my remaining sick time and my remaining annual leave. And then when I got back to work, I will say some of the tension, what made it awkward was like, well, if you're telling us that technically you were not sick this whole time, then you fraudulently have entered your time as sick. And I was like, no, I entered it as sick because you specified that that's what I had to do. I told you I was good after the 3rd or 4th day. You're the one that restricted me and told me to not come back to work. You caused all of this. Whatever you and your legal team need to do to talk about to fix this, you need to fix this shit. You can't take the time from me, force me to use it, and then penalize me from it and say claim anything fraudulent. Like I said, like intuitively, I know that you're full of shit on that. So these are some of the conversations. I said exactly that without the profanity. Like, I'm very direct. You cannot shit me. You cannot shit me. That's why it was awkward when I went back to work. Some of those hard conversations, like, I don't mean to be the one, but how is this if this? Oh, I got to go on and take off some of those hours that were already pre-scheduled, pre-planned, that I requested back in January. Some of this time I requested back in October of last year for me to be off on Memorial Day, for me to be off on Labor Day. I already took off for several specific events. I got like 10 or 15 scheduled days off that I couldn't have even requested that time off if the leave wasn't available. You can't future request, like the system is not intuitive, that it anticipates, well, by October of 2023, if you've not taken off at all, you will have 13 hours available to use, or you will have 60 hours of leave time available to use. The system, it does not work like that. And they kept trying to tell me that it does. I'm like, did you forget that because you've been giving me these supervisor duties that I don't know how this shit works? Because my staff cannot request time off, future or present, if they don't have that time in their bank. But you wanted to get that off with me and you couldn't. So that made it awkward because I have a hard time acting like I don't know better when I do know better. They removed, not only did they sop up all the remaining time that I had available, they even used, because I ran out of annual leave, they made me cancel. I was supposed to go like to some of the oldest, like the furthest out. In October, I took off the 30th and the 31st. I love Halloween. All Hallows Eve. I gotta study up and know where it really comes from, not what it was turned into and why it was turned into that. But anyway, before I even let that one go, right? before I let it happen, but yeah, they had me to remove some time that you already approved it. They were like, yeah, well, you needed to cover this time that you're at right now. And I'm like, what happened? Like, I got the screenshot. Plus, on my paycheck, it shows what was available. It's funny, it said I had all this time available, and you're saying I don't. Who can investigate that? Who inside of our agency can investigate that? That's another unexplainable discrepancy in our HR department. I mean that as respectfully as I can convey it. Like, it's legitimate, what the fuck? So, and then my staff asking, since you asked, right? I'm not offering. I'm going to boldly answer that question for you. Where have I been? Why have I not been to work? Just so you know, in case the shit happens to you. Yeah. That's what this last week was like. I did feel very welcome to come back. I'm completely, nobody is at home now. My daughter is out traveling and visiting. My son is over at his girlfriend's. They're doing their thing over in their place. And so it's just me. So in this alone time, I've gotten to really ground myself some more. So living here in this, going from the high rise to a townhome, a ginormous townhome, I still don't have a yard. So when I ground myself and actually plant my feet on the soil, right, in the grass, I'm leery about, do I refuse to do it over here where these are a bunch of, it's high traffic, high puppy, poochie, and kitten traffic over here. So I'm not going to let myself stand barefoot. So I've been I stood on the Capitol lawn a couple of times and grounded myself. I don't have a house. I don't have a yard. I don't have a lawn. It feels good. That definitely has helped. I went to the lake a couple of times. I went to someone that I'm really good friends with. She just got fired, and in the same week that she got fired, in the same 7-day period, like, she got another job, a better job. They hired her in the interview. Didn't even let her leave. Didn't even let her get home, or we'll call you back. Yeah, we have a couple of other. They hired her. That made my soul so happy. But anyway, okay. So that's it for this video. That's it. If you will, please, again, stay tuned. I would really appreciate, like, I'm getting so many likes, and I've actually gotten way more messages about my videos than I've gotten likes and views. I'm working on changing that. I don't know how to manipulate and play around with algorithms to make sure that my video comes out the gate with like a lot of traction. I'm working my way to that. A lot of that has to do with getting the right type of equipment, the right equipment. But I plan to share just very intuitively. Just those first couple of videos actually jumped out in front of other videos that I had, because this trauma was real time happening during that time. And since I was made to stay home and not able to communicate my questions and my concerns with anyone, I grew tired of writing and journaling about it, and I decided to make the video. Let me share my experience. This is what I'm going through. What do you think about it? What you got on it? You got some advice for me? You got any tips? You tell me, yeah, this was your first mistake right here. You did this right here. In my next video, let me see. Maybe this is how I can give myself some more structure. I'll do it with you. I'll brainstorm with you. Because it is still written down. It is still written down. But I'm feeling led to just speak from my heart. Because whenever I do speak, you're going to see the difference. There's a big difference. Even right now, I know I'm a lot more together right now than I am from that very first video, where I was trying to contain my the things that trigger that anxiety, just recanting things from the past and sharing that. Because I mean, I was living it already. So the way that caused me to present. In this video, it's a lot less profanity, a lot less, outbursts like, I will scream in a heartbeat. I will do it. I roar. I meow. It's not meow. My word is nyaw. N-Y-A-W. That's my shit. That's my shit. That's like my go-to. I say it in my grown woman voice and in my baby voice. I say it so much that people who know me at restaurants, they say it. People in my family, they know. But I wanted to share organically. You can get the structure that's coming right up. I already have this stuff, like I said before, I already have it written down. It's a whole agenda, a whole plan. I already have it, and I know how I want to share it, and I'm going to do that. But right now, this is what's in my heart. So maybe in my next video, I want to talk about love, relationships and love. I want to talk about work. I will talk about relationships and love. I'll do that. That'll be coming right up. So show me some love. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Click the buttons in the video. Click them, click them, click them, click them, click wherever they are. If they're below me, wherever they are, click them things, please. Just show me some love, man. Show me some love. If you appreciate the content, if you wanted me to put out and talk about specific things, I know what I have in my heart to talk about. But if you would like to hear me weigh in on something, what's my perspective? I value the feedback. Thank you.